I would buy your house, what a big mistake. But for a while I thought that I wouldn't break. I need something else to clear my head. Someone to tell me how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a fake. Take control of your own life. Without any thought, I keep moving on. I don't even care if my soul is gone. So many words that I should have said. Not concerned about how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a fake. Take control of your own life. Nothing in life is good. Tired and misunderstood. I would fight if I could. If I believed I should. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a fake. Take control of your own life.
Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Amber, yes, that music, I have that song in my the music that I buy to use on my channel that I can that I pay for, that is copyright. Well, I get, I pay for it, so yeah, I can use it on my channel. And thank you. And I just made that about 30 minutes ago. I just I like to, inspire people to take control of their own lives. And I just had a bunch of songs, and I was looking for a song to make an intro. So yeah, I just found that. Thank you for enjoying it. I appreciate you saying that, CLM and Amber and anybody else who had that thought. We can use all kinds of things to motivate ourselves, and music happens to be one of the things that helps me. And I'm kind of particular about my music. I'm not into like hard rock or maybe in back in the 70s there were some rock songs I like, hard rock songs, but I'm pretty calm, laid back person with my music. I don't know about y'all. T. Adams, yes, it's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and it is gonna just be kind of thrown together. I haven't got this all laid out, but I think we can have a good conversation about Ozempic and Wegovy and the other weight loss shots that are out here now, and they're actually formulating pill versions. I think Pfizer, maybe, I don't know, one of the companies. They're all trying to get in on this, but there are some serious side effects. And one of the very first things that triggered my thinking in doing this video a couple of months ago was when I heard that it was causing some people to be suicidal. So, yeah, we're going to look into that. So I'm glad y'all are here. Hey, hippie chick. CLM, good to see you. Amber, good to see you. It's got you in your feels. I hope that's not a bad thing. Yes, and people who are taking the medication who don't need it are keeping it from people who are needing it, because it is Wegovy is approved for weight loss, but Ozempic is for insulin dependent diabetics, or I'm not sure. I mean, T. Adams said that it was insulin dependent. I'm not positive about that, but if you're diabetic, it's to treat diabetes. And it does, and it's the new thing, and it's not going away. But I think people need to be aware of the pitfalls. And one of the things we're going to talk about is it paralyzes people's stomachs. It causes changes in your body. And I know that, I don't know how many of y'all know that Lisa Marie Presley actually died from bowel obstruction, small bowel obstruction, because she had secretly had weight loss surgery a long time ago. I don't even know when. It's been many, many years. It wasn't like a recent thing. Hey, Shalima. But I'm going to catch up with, let me finish this thought and then I'll say hi. But the autopsy found that's what she died from. Now, they're saying it was because of the weight loss surgery and nobody knew about it. I guess her mother knew. I don't know, but people didn't know about it. Amber, I appreciate that comment. Hey, JL. Hey, Angie Ray. Oh, the stress. Yeah. I got your, I responded to your email, Angie Ray. You've been through it, girl. I'm so sorry. Hey, Mark Klein. Hey, Angela. How's it going? Yeah, hi to everybody coming in. Well, Ozempic for diabetics is prescribed, right? But they've discovered that it's this miracle weight loss thing, and people are jumping. And look, when it first came out, I was like, that's not fair. I want some. Well, I'm like 10 pounds overweight now. I mean, we're all obsessed. I mean, a lot of people are obsessed with their weight. And my first thought was, I want some. I want to lose weight the easy way. Well, it's not always the easy ways. There's dangers to it. Hey, JL. Yeah, I'm not, I just, they should make sure that you get it if you're diabetic, that only some people can get it who aren't, all these movie stars and everything get it. And Oprah lost a lot of weight. And if you don't know, Oprah is like part owner or something to, somehow, I don't know her contract with Weight Watchers, but she's in cahoots with them. And Oprah's had weight loss and weight gain all her life, and we've seen her at all different sizes. She struggles with that like many people do. And this latest weight loss that she had is weird because of her being a part of Weight Watchers, and Weight Watchers now is, kind of foregoing, let's, limit your calories and you can eat this and this and this. And well, Weight Watchers is basically you get points and you eat so many points a day. But, I lost my train of thought just a second. I was look down at Angela's. I was trying to remember the name. Ends with Jaro. Moonjaro, Manjaro, I think. Something like that. Yeah, the weekly injections. And the thing is with these medications is you build up, like you start with a low dose and then you add to it. But what was I talking about? Jesus. Thank you, JL. Well, I think that people are so into wanting to lose weight and doing whatever it takes to do it. I just want to open up with this. This is Amy Schumer, and she she took Ozempic for a while and it made her really sick. And but this is just kind of a funny clip because she's Oprah. Yeah, Oprah. Okay, so Oprah owns part of Weight Watchers. Thanks, Angela. And she's in cahoots, whatever. And all of a sudden, she's lost all this weight. She's saying Weight Watchers, but Weight Watchers is now in the game. They've got a plan that you can get these medications through their plan and still follow their plan, but with the aid of this. Now, I'm not against anybody using an aid that they need to use to lose weight. I mean, seriously, it's definitely an issue for people. And look, I know how hard it is to lose weight. A few years ago, I got down like thinner than I've been in forever. I was healthy. I was working out a lot and, teaching classes and doing all this stuff, teaching like workout classes and spin classes. And, but I lost weight using a meal replacement thing. And it's not that healthy. And as soon as you stop, you gain the weight back. Sometimes when I'm upset about weight gain, I'd like to, yes. Yeah, the side effects, and people don't know about Hippie Chick. Yeah, thanks for weighing in on that, because let's watch this real quick.
Everybody lying. Everyone's like, a smaller portion. Like, shut the up. Right. You're on Ozempic or one of those things.
Or Wegovy or whatever.
Or you got work done. Like, just stop. Be real with the people.
Right.
When I got lipo, I was like, I got lipo.
So if you can't see that, she's
like a year ago, I tried it.
Okay.
It's like, you try it. And I was one of the people that felt like so sick and like couldn't like play with my son. I was so skinny and I was just like he was throwing a ball at me and it was just...
gastrointestinal
This isn't charming.
gastrointestinal
I don't feel as clean.
issues and sorry. All right, we're back. Yeah, the food industry, if you don't know, and I did a live about this a while back. It's been a while, but the food industry puts, like the chip industry and stuff, they put additives in our food and make the crunchiness just the right amount. And they really work at all these things to make you want to eat more. And if you have, issues with eating too much, which I mean, a lot of people do, like I can't buy chips and stuff because I will mow through them. And I can mow through a bag of family size Cheetos in a couple of days. And that's trying to have self-control. I can do it in one hour, but, I'm trying to be controlling of it. But I saw some recently, two labels. One was from Canada and one was from the United States for ketchup. I think it was Heinz ketchup. And the difference in the ingredients was astounding because, for one thing, high fructose corn syrup is horrible for us. And it's in a lot of our food. And it's not healthy. And back to school pictures this year on Facebook, I'm seeing my friends' kids and I'm like, why is everybody so overweight? All these kids, they're kids. And it's not because necessarily parents are doing anything wrong. It's what's in our food, and it's all in all the packaged foods and all of the most of the food that you get in the middle of the store. Like if you go around the edge of the store, you get your produce and your meats and your just more healthier food that you have to like cook. But when you get it in a box or you get it in the frozen section, not everything, because like frozen veggies are fine. They don't have additives in them. But a lot of these packaged foods, they have so much crap in them and it makes you gain weight. And so that's a problem. Yes. Yeah, how's Lydia? Going to the pharmacy to pick up. Oh, yes, that's horrible, T. Adams. I mean, I would be livid if I was on a medication I couldn't get because it's being hyped for other reasons, and they shouldn't be able to prescribe it off. You know, doctors can prescribe off, what's it called? Off label for medications to use for different purposes, because sometimes that works. And in the case of this, but when there's a shortage and people who are diabetic really need it, no, that's not right. I don't know what Victoza is. Some of those things. Oh, wait, I bet, Amber, yeah, issues that, yes, you got to stop eating high fructose corn syrup and wheat flour. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Cassandra, there's a lot of ways to lose weight healthy, and also losing weight too fast. And we're going to just look at that here just in a second about losing weight too fast. Hey, Salmonella, don't have a wreck. Be careful. Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, they're coming out, and even the pharmacies that mix their own things are making it too. And also if your insurance isn't covering it, it's supposedly like $1,000. And I only know a few people who have that kind of money flowing into their bank account all the time. Oh, I bet you're mad, T. Adams. You better get mad and stay mad. It makes me mad. 99% curable. Yes, you have to eat right, Cassandra. I mean, there's really no way around it. Like when I lost weight and I was working out all the time and everything, and I wasn't really hungry, and I was getting, I mean, it was like 1,200 calories a day, which isn't like that's how normally for my size, that's really all I'm supposed to eat a day. And it's almost impossible to do that. Oh, sorry, Angela. Yeah, big pharma and the food industry, the things that they put in our food, the additives that they put in the food, and also a lot of people could immediately stop. There's a lot of people who could lose weight immediately who drink soft drinks. I'm not talking about the diet ones at the moment, but they're not good for you either. But if you're drinking full-on sugar-filled high fructose corn syrup sodas and you stop, I don't know how many, like people drink a lot. Well, you could lose a lot of weight instantly just stopping that shit. Yeah, I hope she is feeling better. Okay, I have a video here. This is a short that happened on this morning. And this is a doctor. So let's see what this doctor has to say, but I know I got to share it to y'all first. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. I did say, I think yesterday, that I want to do my Sunday morning lives to be, upbeat. Here's what I'm going to say about today. I mean, no, this isn't like this upbeat. It's educational and it's not drama. So mostly I don't want to do drama on Sunday mornings in here. And I don't do a lot of drama anyway, but that's just what I'm saying. Yeah, no soft drinks. Yep. They mess with your pH. I bet you're learning a lot, Amber. I bet you are. It It's stressful when our dogs are sick, isn't it, Angela? It's really bad. It's horrible. Dr. Boz, I don't even know this person. But yeah, this is interesting. I hope I shared. Let me know if you can't hear it. Okay, sorry. I thought I I always forget to hit that little button over there. I did hit it. How weird. Oh, okay. There we go. I did hit it, but okay, let's try that again.
How they're losing that weight
It's probably not at the beginning.
is really a starvation weight loss. This is the kind of weight loss that will decrease their immune system, decrease their bone density, decrease their muscle mass, and decrease their longevity. Ozempic should not be allowed for weight loss. Mark my words, put them in a time capsule and open it in 15 years. Ozempic has a remarkable weight loss, but what they didn't focus on is that when these people are losing weight, they are losing muscle mass at a way higher rate than they should. As you play this forward, especially in elder patients, when you lose that much muscle mass, you cannot gain it back without extreme measures. The chemistry behind how they're losing that weight is really a starvation weight loss. This is the kind of weight loss that will decrease their immune system, decrease their bone density, decrease their muscle mass, and decrease their longevity. Ozempic should not be allowed for weight loss. Mark my words.
All right. I mean, yeah, there's like things like Ozempic face, Ozempic butt, muscle mass. And so a lot of reasons why elderly people fall. Well, us old folks, we get dizzy and stuff. But falling is one of the main reasons why people die. I had an aunt, my aunt recently passed away from falling and hitting her head, and she couldn't recover from it. And people fall and break their hips, and I mean, I think most of us make fun of people when they fall down and stuff, but as a person who's fallen and that's what caused my major back problems. I fell on ice, so I have a fear of falling, and at various times I've gone through, times when I was falling a lot, and fortunately I haven't had any bad injuries. But when your bones are more brittle and osteoporosis can set in when you're older, and we have bone loss, and then we have muscle mass loss, and so people aren't aware of that. Now, doctors should fill everybody in, but I'm sure they don't. Intermittent eating. Well, and also, what food you're eating. Again, staying off of the crap food. Just a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I got to look up something. And weight is a huge moneymaker for weight loss is a huge moneymaker for companies. So anytime you're talking about pharmaceuticals, I don't know how many people watch the documentary. Well, it's a drama. It just came out, Painkiller, and then there was another one done about the same thing, about the not Ozempic, the opioid that was out. And so 4 different meds a day. Yeah, everybody wants a quick fix. That's right, Amber. I mean, don't we all? We all want to be healthy and happy and eat everything we want and drink everything we want and take everything we want, but we don't want to put in the work. And I'll say that when I wasn't working out anymore, which you do need to always be doing strength training, but I stopped. And then I was hiking and still being really active and everything. And then my back pain started, and it's also like 99 degrees in the morning when I get up. And so I'm just like, I'm losing muscle mass, and I've got to get back out there because, and I've got weights here. I could pull up 8-hour period. Well, you need to make sure and eat, the 3 food groups and everything, Cassandra. But yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's watch this video about how it works. So anybody doesn't know the ins and outs of this, we'll just play that right here. And hopefully I'll get the sound shared when I do that. Yeah, women need to, we need to make sure we eat enough protein. And there we go. I hit the right buttons. All right.
This is Ozempic. It's a drug approved by the FDA to manage type 2 diabetes. Maybe you've heard the jingle. Or maybe you've seen Ozempic in the news recently for another reason.
Weight loss. Weight loss.
Easy weight loss.
Miracle diet drug. Miracle weight loss drug.
And it's true. Ozempic was designed to help people manage their blood sugar, but it's also proven to help people lose weight.
My doctor was like, this is mainly for blood sugar management, but as a side effect, like, you will lose weight. When I started to notice that, like, in the first month or so, I had dropped 10 pounds like nothing, I was like, there's something to this.
And once you learn why it works, you'll understand how this drug could completely change the way we approach weight loss. According to the latest data from the National Institutes of Health, around 42% of adults in the US are currently categorized as obese. The CDC's list of health risks associated with obesity include heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes, diseases that rank among the leading causes of premature death worldwide. Not everyone living with type 2 diabetes is considered obese, but the two are closely linked. In fact, one of the leading recommendations for managing type 2 diabetes is weight loss.
Even like a small amount of weight reduction for people with diabetes can help blood sugar management. I'm Mila Clark. I'm 33 years old, and I have a type of diabetes called latent autoimmune diabetes in adults.
I reached out to Mila because she runs a YouTube channel, The Hangry Woman, where she makes videos about living a healthy life with diabetes.
The thing that I wish that people understood more is how difficult it is to live with both diabetes and obesity.
She's also documented her experience with Ozempic.
It has always been really hard for me to lose weight despite diet and exercise and paying attention to lifestyle habits.
For a long time, doctors have had mixed views on how to make weight loss more accessible to help people lower their risk for illnesses like type 2 diabetes. One option is weight loss medication. Historically, weight loss drugs have been associated with dangerous side effects and have been pulled from the market. Metabolic bariatric surgery is extremely effective for weight loss, but it requires dramatic lifestyle changes that can be challenging to maintain. But with new diabetes drugs like Ozempic, scientists have a safe and effective tool for weight loss.
Safe and effective, he said. Hey, Bones. He said it's safe and effective. I think it is safe for some people, but for a lot of people, it's not. And that's the misnomer. And you're hearing more, we're just hearing more and more about people having really, really bad side effects, and we'll get to that here in a bit. And like I said, I mean, well, I have this one friend who he's on it, and he you know, he's a Facebook friend. I don't hang out with him or anything, but he's saying that it made him not want to use marijuana anymore, and he's a big time marijuana user. And also he doesn't want to drink. He doesn't, you know, it's helping him, but what are the side effects going to be?
And it's based on something that's inside our
It's not safe for anybody.
bodies already. Hormones. Hormones are the body's messengers, running from one place to another, prompting certain cells into action. When we eat, our bodies produce a bunch of hormones to aid in the process of digestion. One of them is GLP-1, the hormone that tells us when we're full. This is the sequence of amino acids that make it up. And this is semaglutide, the generic name for Ozempic. It's made to mimic GLP-1. Here's why. When food enters your stomach and begins to work its way through the digestive system, your body releases GLP-1 in the intestine. There are receptors for GLP-1 in cells all throughout the body that serve different functions when triggered by the hormone. In the pancreas, GLP-1 receptors promote the production of insulin, the hormone that lowers blood sugar levels, and suppress the production of glucagon, the hormone that raises blood sugar levels. This is important for people with type 2 diabetes whose bodies are insulin resistant and produce very little insulin of their own. Synthetic insulin is a critical treatment for blood sugar management. And semaglutide makes the insulin you do have, whether it's produced naturally or synthetically, work better in your body. Losing excess fat can also help you become more insulin sensitive. That's where GLP-1's next receptor comes in. In the stomach, GLP-1 receptors slow gastric emptying, which means
And there's something, hey Mel, and there's something else that I heard recently, in that if you're going to have surgery and you're on these weight loss, you know, the Ozempic or any of these, it affects how long the food stays in your stomach. And you know, that normal window of when you're not supposed to eat before surgery needs to be extended, because people are having major complications because they're, you know, there's a reason why you're told not to eat before surgery. All right. Hey, Jen.
food doesn't move through the digestive system as quickly, and you stay fuller for longer.
It slows the digestion of your food, which overall helps with blood sugar spikes, and it helps you feel fuller for longer so you don't eat as much.
And maybe most importantly,
but the slowing down of the food, remember, anybody who's taken this, if you're going to have surgery, you need to read up on that, because it's very, very important to not eat before surgery. And that, well, I mean, she just said what I was saying. It slows your processing of the food down.
at least in regard to weight loss, there are GLP-1 receptors in the brain, particularly in the hypothalamus, that suppress hunger cravings.
That fuller satiety feeling for longer is really helpful.
The digestive system is designed to do all of this naturally, but GLP-1 based medications are made to amplify the hormone's numerous health effects. And it works. A major clinical trial of semaglutide in adults showed an average weight reduction of around 15% when paired with an adjusted diet and exercise routine, compared to a placebo group which demonstrated a little over 2% weight reduction. That level of effectiveness rivals the results of metabolic bariatric surgery.
And the fact that I was able to take a once weekly injection and then all of a sudden, like, the pounds just like dropped off, I was like, this is wild to me.
These drugs aren't without side effects.
There we
the
go.
most common being nausea and gastrointestinal effects like diarrhea. Mila initially stopped taking Ozempic because of a side effect that gave her heart palpitations.
Heart palpitations and chest pains. And then I heard that people were pooping their pants and stuff. That would be horrible.
But she's back on it now, and so far, so good.
My blood sugars are great. I'm having an easier time losing weight, and I've like amped up my exercise and being outdoors and hiking and running and walking. And you still have to do all of the other things that everyone has to do to be able to lose weight. It just makes it a little bit easier, but it's helping me so much with my diabetes management.
The number of prescriptions of semaglutide has risen dramatically since becoming available in late 2017.
Why are we tapping the screen? What Bones? Now they can't poop? Well, there's a thing about frozen stomachs. I'll bring that up in a minute. It's a news article that I have. I don't think it's got a video, but people's stomachs are now frozen after taking it. Yeah, and then when you stop taking it, you're going to gain your weight. Any fast weight loss, once you stop it, you're going to gain the weight back. And usually you gain it more back because you're out of control. Oh, tap the thumbs up. Okay. I was like, what? Good grief, T. Adams. So done with it. How are you doing? Yeah, the side effects are terrible. They're terrible. I mean, anything that's going to make you want to take your own life or have a risk of that, you need to think long and hard about getting in that mind space, because your brain controls your whole everything. Your brain controls everything. Well, I mean, your brain controls your heart, and your heart controls your body too. But those two things together, yeah, stomach paralysis. That's what I've been hearing. It's horrible.
And in 2021, the FDA approved semaglutide to be prescribed at a higher dose for weight management specifically, branded under the name Wegovy. It was big news and led to this drug getting a lot of attention sort of all at once.
The messaging started to center more around weight loss than it did diabetes, which is unfortunate for people with diabetes and people living with obesity. There are these two groups of people who really need this drug for health purposes, but it's being trivialized and kind of looked at as like, oh, this is an easy weight loss solution.
There are solutions in place now to deal with the sudden high demand for these drugs for people who need them. Mounjaro, another medication developed specifically for type 2 diabetes, is currently being fast-tracked for approval by the FDA to be prescribed for weight loss too. Now that Ozempic's notoriety helped semaglutide go mainstream, it, and drugs like it, will only become more commonly prescribed for weight management.
Yep.
It's not as simple as take this injection and you won't be living with obesity anymore, or you will reverse your diabetes. But as a community, we get really excited to see innovations happen and tools that can make our lives a little easier and that can cause less diabetes burnout and helps you think about diabetes less. It's one of those things that I think all of us want to protect at all costs.
All righty. Yeah, and they're playing it up here. They're not even talking about the bad stuff. Let me get that off my screen. All right. Yeah, she's also putting the work in. And if you put that work in and eat healthy, you could lose weight and not have the side effects. I mean, basically, how you lose weight is you eat less than you eat less than you burn. So, you got to put in your BMI. I mean, you got to put in your numbers and figure out how many calories you need. And, we're just going to watch some of these different videos of what people are saying about this. This one's from Good Morning America. We are going to get to the bad side effects and stuff too, but right now let's see what these people are saying. The side effects, I mean, anything that's got horrible side effects, but I mean, if you're diabetic, I guess there's reasons to take it. And I don't think I hit that button again. Ah, there we go.
Ozempic. It is literally.
All right.
Ozempic. It is literally the hottest drug in the country right now. But what happens when you stop taking it? Ozempic is part of a class of medications called GLP-1 agonists, and they are really important, safe, and effective for people with type 2 diabetes. But about 10 years ago, in the world of obesity medicine, it was discovered, as we do with a lot of medications, that there is a side effect may be beneficial. And we're talking about the side effect of weight loss. Fast forward, one of these medications recently was FDA approved for specifically weight loss for people who are obese or overweight. And of course, like many medications, they are also used off-label specifically and exclusively and deliberately to affect weight loss. These are usually injections. They're given by the individual, by the patient. In the belly is the most common location, once a week. These medications are generally well.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be putting a shot in my belly. I mean, I know diabetics have to do that. Insulin dependent diabetics have to do that, but I'm not going to do a shot in my belly to lose weight. I mean, no, I'm not going to do it.
Well tolerated, but one of the ways in which they work is by slowing the emptying of the stomach. So one of the side effects, not surprisingly, can be GI, nausea, in some cases even vomiting, as diarrhea or bowel issues, and in rare cases, pancreatitis and inflammation of the pancreas. And these drugs do carry a black box warning for a rare type of thyroid cancer.
Oh, great. Thyroid cancer.
So what happens if someone were to take one of these medications like Ozempic, lose some weight, and then discontinue or stop taking the medication? Obviously, it's variable. It's not one size fits all, and individual results and long-term results will tend to vary. But in general, we have to remember that the conditions of overweight and obesity are complex chronic disorders that have a multitude of factors leading to them. Behavior is one of them, environment, genetics, even other medications that may be associated with weight gain are a big part of the picture. So if you remove one of those variables, in this case, a medication that has been helpful in achieving weight loss, it is possible, if not likely, that the person will regain some or all or even more of the weight that they've lost. It depends on how much was lost in the first place. It depends on the person and their individual specific factors.
Mm-hmm. This other YouTuber had I don't know her though, but I watched hers and I was enthralled with her. But let's watch let's watch this guy. This guy's a doctor. Oh, oops. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to take a shot in my belly. There we go.
Twitter as of late, you've seen this new drug Ozempic be mentioned. I've actually seen Elon Musk tweet about it. It's been covered in the New York Times. It's literally everywhere. So it's about time that we talk about the truth when it comes to Ozempic. For those who don't know, Ozempic is a medication that's been FDA approved to be used in patients who have diabetes to help control blood sugars and, as an added effect, decrease the likelihood of major cardiovascular events and have increases in weight loss. Because of this added effect of weight loss, many people started using the medication off-label for just weight loss. The pharmaceutical company decided to take the same generic medication found within Ozempic called semaglutide, increase its dosage, and repackage it under a different brand name called Wegovy, and seek FDA approval as a weight loss medication to be used in conjunction with lifestyle changes for individuals who are either obese or overweight, but also who have one weight-related diagnosis, like hypertension, high cholesterol.
Hey, Fafo. FAFO, FAFO. Isn't phentermine, I don't know how to say that, but isn't that one of the like you know, meds that like wires you up or something? I don't know anything about it, but somebody else here can surely weigh in. What I'm saying is, there's really no miracle cure for, like somebody just said on one of these videos, there's a lot of different variables that go into weight gain, and there's no one cure. Like Amber said, her father-in-law was taking this starvation diet thing, meal replacement stuff. Basically what those do is they just reduce your calories so far down, and you're eating processed food to be able to do that. And that's not healthy because it's overly processed. And basically all it's doing is reducing your calorie intake, which you can do on your own. But it's hard. It's not easy to lose weight. And yeah, what is all this stuff doing to the brain?
Cholesterol, etc. And after so many people started getting Ozempic prescribed for this off-label use for weight loss, it exploded in popularity, mostly on television and on TikTok, with people claiming that they've lost huge amounts of weight, talking about their successes. And as a result of all this publicity, there was literally a run to doctors to prescribe this medication for them off-label in order to help them with their weight loss, which unfortunately ended up creating a shortage, which puts people at risk who desperately need the medication because they have a true diagnosis of diabetes and are not using it for off-label uses. There is a huge rise of misinformation happening at this very moment that we have to fact check. This claim is patently untrue, and anyone saying this has a terrible understanding of how Ozempic semaglutide actually works. This medicine actually works as an appetite suppressant that slows or delays gastric emptying. Therefore, you feel full and you have less of an appetite.
Again, what I was saying about if you're going to have surgery, you got to keep this in mind. Anybody who's using it, if you're going to have surgery, you're going to have food left in your stomach, and it's very dangerous for surgery.
So it's more of an appetite modulator, leading you to consume less calories, therefore losing weight. Not, oh, I can eat 10 pizzas and take this medication and not absorb the calories. You see how there's a very important difference here?
Yep.
Because if you eat a lot of food and take this medication that slows your gastric emptying, it's going to make you feel worse, and you're going to have more side effects, more nausea, more vomiting, more potential diarrhea and constipation. People are actually talking about these side effects who are eating their normal portions or even eating reduced portions. So imagine if you were to overeat thinking you can while taking this medication. That's a cause for concern. This claim is starting to spiral out of control because it initially started with some simple observations that doctors made of their patients who were losing weight on Ozempic or Wegovy, and they were seeing that those patients were losing body fat, but they were also losing lean muscle mass. This is not surprising because the way these medications work is by suppressing appetite, therefore having the patient consume less calories. Anytime you're going to be consuming less calories, you will both lose muscle mass and body fat. This is obviously not ideal, but with this type of medication, that control is limited. But we do have control. Any good doctor should not be just prescribing this medication and forgetting about the patient. You're supposed to be getting the medication and having the doses slowly increase based on the effects and side effects that we're seeing. Also, it should come with a plan for nutrition, possibly meeting with a nutritionist who can help guide you as to how much protein you should be taking in, despite the fact that you're consuming less calories, and a plan for exercise that includes resistance and weight training to help keep on some of that lean muscle mass.
A lot of people are mistaken that they can turn fat into muscle, but fat doesn't turn into muscle. Fat sticks around and it dissolves and goes away, but it doesn't turn into muscle. So you can build muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. But also, the important thing is muscle burns more calories than fat. So if that's, one thing about strength training is if you're doing strength training and cardio and stuff, the strength training is really, really important because you need your muscles for one thing. You don't have to build up big muscles for strength training. But you've got to keep your muscle, strength. The only way to lose fat and not lose muscle is to fast. All right.
One where I'm seeing the most examples of on TikTok, someone saying, oh, I took Ozempic for a wedding and I lost 10 pounds. Look how great I look. This is not what the medicine was intended for. In fact, people who are already of a healthy weight looking to get skinnier were not the ones that were studied when we were checking the safety and effectiveness of this medication. So maybe taking it while you're already at a healthy weight can lead to worse side effects. And the worst part of all of it, once you stop taking it, the weight will come right back. This type of yo-yo dieting has been associated with numerous health risks, including returning to your normal weight and then going past it and gaining even more weight after you stop a medication like this. Anytime you have a rapid type of weight loss, what can happen is you lose the subcutaneous fat that's present in your skin, especially if in your 30s or 40s. And as a result, you can develop this hollowed out appearance to your face. Now, if you're taking Ozempic or Wegovy the correct way, this shouldn't be happening. My suspicion is the people who are experiencing this quote unquote Ozempic face or this hollowed out look are individuals who are rushing to lose weight, using it in a way that is not being prescribed to them. Because when doctors prescribe these medicines, they do it with a titration mindset, meaning they start low and they slowly increase your dose while monitoring how much weight you're losing, how many side effects you're experiencing. Ideally, what doctors are looking for is for a continued 1 to 2 pound weight loss per week. Obviously, that varies depending on your own individual situation, but certainly not the 10, 15 pounds in 1 week that people are claiming they've lost on these medications when they're using them in a non-prescribed, uncontrolled way. I don't think GLP-1 medication should be first-line treatments for those who need to lose weight. Anytime you're prescribing a medication, there needs to be a risk-benefit ratio done for the individual sitting in front of you. And ultimately, the individual needs to decide if the medication is right for them. And while these medications have shown promise for individuals to lose 10 to 20% of their weight if they are overweight or obese, it's still important to factor in that there are legitimate risks to taking these medications. There are side effects. People have GI issues, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, pancreatitis, kidney issues. There is a potential issue of increases in thyroid cancer long-term with these medications. And these are not reasons to not take the medicine. These are reasons to think about this medicine as a tool in our arsenal to help patients reach their desired weight. And when we talk about their desired weight, that talks about a healthy weight. To me, I feel like this whole conversation has caused us to lose sight of the big picture. With the exception of an individual who's facing harsh socioeconomic standing, someone who has a legitimate medical condition like diabetes or a thyroid condition, among the many others that cause increased weight loss or weight gain is under our control. There are things that we can do, and I could recommend as a doctor to help someone lose weight when it comes to a nutrition standpoint, a fitness standpoint, sleep, mental health, etc. When I think about my patient's health, I don't just think about their weight. Weight is not the sole determinant of one's health.
Did you hear that? Weight is not the sole determinant of your health. It's not.
And when it comes to improving someone's lifestyle, we're not only lowering the weight, we're also improving their quality of life, decreasing risks of certain cancers, other diseases, and ultimately extending and prolonging their lives. That's what being a doctor is about, not just focusing on the scale. I actually had a patient whose doctors said all of their symptoms were due to their weight. And I actually found That wasn't the case at all. Click here to check that out. And as always, stay happy.
Wow, I'm just a bearer of good news today, huh? Just a bearer of good news. No, I just want people to be aware of this. I want to where is that one? Lose paralyzed stomachs. Oh, here's what I wanted to I don't know if this has a video. Let me see. I may just have to read this information to you guys. So the headline is that Ozempic faces review over concerns it may trigger suicidal thoughts. A safety committee was probing the weight loss drugs, including Ozempic. I never heard of Saxenda and Wegovy. Flagged 3 cases of patients in the meds having suicidal and self-harm related thoughts. This was in it's Denmark. Yeah, I don't know where it was. Since the Ozempic craze took both Hollywood and non-celebrities by storm, a series of bizarre side effects have emerged, including Ozempic butt, where users are claiming that their derrieres have flattened along with their tummies. The latest side effects. Just a second. Da, 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 da. The website for the Saxenda warns users against taking the drug if they have already experienced or are experiencing depression or suicidal thoughts or mental health issues. It also lists depression or thoughts of suicide as possible side effect of the medication. And these things are being listed on these medications, but people's desire to lose weight supersedes health benefits because everybody wants a quick fix. And I'm glad that I'm trying to get back to my StreamYard. I'm glad that I'm glad that the truth is coming out. And I just want to be part of the, making sure people know. So, doctors blame everything on being overweight. Wow, so done with it. Yeah, I mean, everything is not about being overweight. Cassandra, it sounds like you know a whole lot about this stuff. Yeah, the side effects are extremely scary. Exactly. All right. Let's see. This is another. This is a YouTube creator who is going to tell her story here about Ozempic. It's a 13.5-minute video. I think it's very much worth hearing. I watched this a few days ago. You're in pain. See, Bones, I'm in the same, my back was really hurting and I was, carrying Shelby around and stuff and picking her up a lot. And when she crossed the Rainbow Bridge, I guess it's been about 3 weeks now, I had that thought, well, maybe some of my back issues were from that. And it is better, but it comes and goes. And the sciatica pain, Metabolife, I think that was a diet plan. I'm not sure. But So let's watch Selena Spooky Boo. This creator has 2.11 million subscribers. How exciting. I'm almost there. Just kidding. All right, let's watch this. This is from, somebody who's been there and done it.
Hello. I hope that you are all doing well. I know
Can you
I
hear
look
it?
different in a different space.
It's not very
And
loud.
I'm sorry there was no video on Wednesday. Today I'm going to talk about something that's quite controversial and I think everyone has heard of at this point. And I think what people haven't heard about are the negative aspects of it. Ozempic has taken over the media world. We've all seen it on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and everyone's like, right here, this is the cure-all. This is the thing. It's going to make you lose weight. It's going to make you fit in. Everybody's doing it. It's safe. It's fun. We've all heard of it. That once-a-week injection that is going to make your life better. My doctor brought up Ozempic to me because I actually am diabetic. It's used as a diabetic medication, but people also use it off-label to control their weight. I'm one of those people who didn't find weight loss in Ozempic, but I did see it helping me see food a different way. I started Ozempic last year, kind of before it had really blown up all over the place. And now it seems like people will do anything to get their hands on it. Before I had started it, a friend had told me about it. I had seen her probably 2 months ahead of time. And she's like, yeah, like it's really helping me. My eating is great. I'm losing all this weight. Everything is better. So months later, when I got my prescription, I ran into her and I said, hey, I ended up getting prescribed Ozempic. And she looked at me and she just said, ooh, don't take it. And I was like, no, like I'm going to do this. Like it's going to help me control my blood sugar and it's going to help me relearn how to eat and how I look at food. And I had this big expectation of it in my mind. And she said to me, I felt that way for a while too, but then I was going to literally unsubscribe from life. And I really didn't take that to heart. And I started the medication, and to start, it was great. My sugars were controlled. I was feeling better. I really didn't lose any weight, but I found myself it was easier to make better decisions and to not binge eat the way that I did. A couple months ago, probably 2 months ago, everything started to change. I had tried to go up from my dose I was trying to go from 0.5 to 1 milligram. The weight loss dose is usually around like 1 milligram to 2 milligram. That's what the doctors say. But it can happen at any of the doses. You start at 2.5, you do that for a couple weeks, you raise up to 5, then you raise up to 1 milligram. You just kind of get your way there. This 1 week, I had decided to go from 0.5 to 0.75. About 2 weeks before I started to do that change, I had changed. I'm someone who has gone through a lot of things in my life, a lot of darker things. And I do suffer with a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of depression, but I am a very headstrong person and I know I'm very capable of taking myself and that I don't suffer the way that other people do. And for that, I am soulfully thankful forever. But something changed. And I was finding myself having actual panic attacks that I hadn't had since I was a teenager.
So y'all that know this person, I mean, I believed her story. Are y'all saying that she's not honest or? Yeah, I need some energy too. Yeah, I need to take something that gives me a lot of. She did sleepwalking. Yeah, I mean, she seems legit, but I don't know. It's interesting to me.
My sugars were great. Everything was great. I wasn't sick. It wasn't an outside influence. It wasn't other medications. And I hadn't really chalked it up to the fact that it was Ozempic. It started with these little panic attacks out of nowhere. I'd be in public and I would just feel the highest level of doom that I can explain. Life ending. Oh my gosh, I need to run and jump off the highest thing that I can feeling that would last for a few seconds.
Oh, wow. That's
So I
scary.
decided to go to Virginia. I was like, okay, I just need to show myself that I'm fine. Like, I need to just get over this. This isn't a thing. So I went to Virginia and, the same thing kind of happened. But I came back and it was time to up my dose. I had spoken to a doctor and they're like, yes, let's slowly take it up. So I decided to do 0.75. That week that I did 0.75, I don't know how I made it out. With Ozempic, you do get, tummy upset. You're not hungry. You're kind of nauseous. You're either constipated or you're going to the washroom all the time. And these are things that I already dealt with in my own life. But this symptom, no matter how much I Googled, I really couldn't find. So I'm like, it's not that. But this week, I was not me. I found myself walking out of complete conversations into the bathroom where I would hyperventilate, shake on the ground, throw up, cry in the shower, but have a rational thought, knowing that this isn't me and this isn't what I could feel like. And usually I could pull myself out of this feeling or out of this situation, but I couldn't. And that's what scared me. And it was the thoughts that I were having that didn't feel like they were my own. So I tried going down the next week, but the feeling really didn't go away. And I hadn't educated myself on the fact that I think it's pronounced semaglutide or whatever the hormone is in there. It takes a while to leave your body. So I went down to 0.5, nothing changed. I'm like, okay, it definitely can't be that. So the next week I went back up and things got worse. I'm someone who's always had real good control over how I feel and what's going on and how I deal with situations. I started joining all of these Facebook groups that spoke on Ozempic, some for people who took it for weight loss. I joined some groups of people who took it for diabetes, some people who took it for all these different things, because I wanted to make sure that before I figured out what this was, and definitely before I spoke to you guys, because I know making this video is going to be controversial, and those comments are going to be full of people saying I was perfectly fine. And for that, I am so happy for you. But what I have found over this past month of research has really scared me and really blown my mind. I've reached out to people around me who I knew were on it. I'm, in LA, it's something that people really want and people are doing anything to get. And I've spoken to a lot of people, and I'm coming to you with an educated conversation here. The amount of people who are like, yeah, I've never had an anxiety issue in my life, and then I ended up in the hospital. Or people who took off, who are off it now because they were the happiest, most go-lucky people in the world, and they couldn't function as human beings. And now I'm starting to read that if you've had issues with mental health, that this can be something to stay away from. And then people try to blame it on, your sugars are high and your sugars are low. But no, it wasn't for me, and it wasn't for a lot of these people. And I've had the opportunity to conversate with people from all different walks of life who have dealt with this.
So every medication has those side effects listed, and there's, so many people in the test study had this and all that. It just shows that every medication, everything we put in our bodies affects us in different ways. Just like when I took opioid pain relief prescribed from the doctor and was able to just stop using it after I don't know, a couple of years at least of using these every day, high dosage of opioids. And I just quit taking them, and I didn't have to have any kind of help or anything. It's just my body didn't physically get addicted to the opioids, which is amazing. And I'm fortunate, but other people could come, can have surgeries like mine and come out of it on pain medication and end up on the streets, doing whatever they can get. So it's just, everybody needs to be aware, we all need to be aware that when we're given something and you look at the side effects, and I'm always like, I won't have that, I won't have that. Well, we need to pay attention, especially with something like this, to what everybody's saying about it, not just the people who are like, I lost, this much weight. And, yeah. And also anytime there's a new medication out, nobody knows what that long-term effects are going to be because they're not tested. Like the doctor was saying earlier, 15 years out, let's look at or maybe one of those doctors was saying that we don't know.
Who I have been in these last couple weeks has probably been the scariest time of my life. And I have told you guys all the things that I have been through. And this is the one thing where I have felt like I couldn't deal. And it's hard because I have to put on my face and I have to go out and I have to be normal and do the commitments that I committed to doing. I was recently away from home and this past Monday was the worst day, and I was in a hotel room and I was 17 floors up. And I would never do this, but I was standing there and I was like, do you know how like this could just be done? Like this, you wouldn't have to feel this way.
Nobody wants to feel that way. I mean, it's horrible. And maybe she's
and it's been hard to have to
know.
admit to people. And it's been hard to have to admit to the people who are like, oh, but just keep on. I'm like, I don't think you understand. This is life or death for me. Because if I have to exist feeling the way that I am feeling right now, I don't think I could exist. So I've been drastically pulling down my dose. I'm down to 0.3, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to take another shot. When you Google this medication, they talk about a lot of symptoms. They even talk about some extreme ones like getting really bad pancreatitis or getting really bad gallbladder issues, or everyone's going to, live differently with it. But for me, it's not worth it. Because these numbers of people who are dealing with the mental health aspects of it are growing and growing, and nobody is really talking about it.
We are.
And I want to reiterate by saying, mentally, I am a very strong person. I'll have a little generalized anxiety, but honestly, who doesn't in the world? But I've always been a very confident person, and I know if I'm feeling a certain way, I know how to make myself feel better, and I know how to pull myself out of it. But in this past week, I will be honest with you, and I am so truthful when I say that Ozempic almost took my life. And I know that's a big thing to say, but that is my personal experience, and it wasn't influenced by I don't do any recreational substances. I don't drink. I don't take anything else that would affect me in this way at all whatsoever. But I feel like all I'm seeing are these commercials like pushing and pushing and pushing this drug. And we're already dealing with such a mental health crisis as it is. And I don't know why this isn't being spoken about. Because the way that I have felt in this past, couple months is not a way I have ever felt in my life. And now on this week, being down and finally a lot of that higher dose coming out of my body, I'm feeling better. But it comes out of nowhere. I'll be watching a show, and then the next thing I'm doing is violently throwing up, convinced I'm dying, screaming, full panic attack. I'm doing things in my life that I really should be enjoying right now. Things that I'm very excited that have finally happened in my life, and I find myself barely being able to keep myself together. Living what feels like somebody else's life in a giant fog. But I just couldn't be quiet anymore. So if this is something you've been trying, go ahead if you're going to try it, because a lot of the people don't experience this. But I just want you to know that if you do experience this, you're not alone. And I just hope it starts the conversation. Because I know that you guys trust me and you look to me, and I've always been transparent with you guys. I've always been transparent, and that's the one thing. And I don't want to see people lose their lives because this wasn't spoken about. So I'm sorry there wasn't a video on Wednesday, but I was away and I was barely.
Okay, I don't need to hear about her personal stuff. But so the important thing, what she just said is, it doesn't happen to everybody, but we need to be aware, right? We need to be aware of the dangers. And if you have any kind of mental illness, even if you're just self-diagnosed, like with depression or anxiety or any of that stuff, you need to be aware that these are potential side effects, and you're messing with your brain when you take medication. It's all messing with your brain. It's all, it's not some wonder thing that goes in, like you eat an apple and you get healthy from an apple. It's dangerous. Let me see if there was another one that I wanted to make sure you guys saw. I think we already played that one. I had some of these saved out. Let's see what this. No, not that one. The problem with Ozempic. All right. Let's watch Chris Cuomo here. Yeah, depression. And like one thing I've mentioned before that I didn't realize, one of the things that comes out of depression is anger. And there's so much involved with depression that when I was in the fucking pits of it, I wish I'd known now. I guess I need to add that to my list of what I wish I'd known sooner. Like the I just pushed the wrong button. Like the what was the thing? The menopause stuff. I wish I'd known. Well, I wish I'd known that having depression and going through menopause and all of the effects of both of those together, I mean, it almost killed me. But here we are. And I'm not sure if see if you can hear this, because I'm not sure if I clicked the right button.
Ozempic, and now it's just not for the celebrities anymore. Everybody's taking it. It's intended to treat type 2 diabetes, takes weight off, no question, a lot of it, and fast. And we keep covering this story for you because it reeks of too good to be true. But we need to understand that medically. Now, it's not about feelings. It's got to be about facts, right? And now what's this about people trying to make it at home? Dr. Mark Hyman is the host of the podcast, The Doctor's Pharmacy.
Can y'all hear this?
And is senior advisor for the Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine. It's great to see you again, Doc.
Good to see you too, Chris.
So people are knocking on the door saying, come on, Hyman, hook me up. And you're saying no. Why?
You bet. You bet. I get the call every day. Here's the deal, Chris. Ozempic and Wegovy and other related drugs are for type 2 diabetes, and they do take weight off by suppressing appetite in the brain. They make your stomach and intestines empty slower, so you feel full, and it works. But it's really not the best long-term strategy because you have to take it forever. Otherwise, you regain the weight you lose. Plus, there's side effects: nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea. You lose weight, but it's often side effects. And then there's more serious ones like thyroid cancer, pancreatic damage, kidney issues, and other problems. So it's not a free ride, and everybody's looking for the quick fix weight loss solution. The problem is nobody's addressing the elephant in the room. If we look at America, 75% of us are
right. So done with it. People say they're depressed when they're actually just sad. Like, I wouldn't say when my dog crossed the rainbow bridge that I'm depressed about my dog. I'm sad about losing my dog. But I know the difference in, and life, a lot of life stuff can affect our mental health or mental illness. So, Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss too, and I'm glad that you recognize though that now that you understand what it is. So and just make sure you always get help. Anybody needs help for any, any of this stuff. Um, I'm wondering if you guys would be interested in I saw this news story the other day and it actually got me really worked up because I just felt like the world's about to end. They're having so many children coming into emergency rooms with mental health crises that there's not an there they can't handle it all. And what is causing all of that to happen? And is it the internet? What is causing our children to be in crisis right now? It's interesting topic. If anybody wants me to cover it, I will. Just let me know.
Are overweight. If you do the math at $1,700 a month, that's about $425 billion to treat the 75% of Americans who are overweight. That's an enormous amount of money that we just cannot afford as a country. And the truth is that if you look at the root causes, it's our toxic food environment. A really important study showed that if you were given an unlimited amount of ultra-processed food compared to whole real food, you would eat 500 calories more a day. So the best way to cut your appetite is stop eating the processed food and eat real food.
Now, you say when you stop taking it, you're going to gain it all back. I get you on the side effects. I get why I wouldn't want to stay on it.
Yeah, so done with it, been there. I would get up, eat breakfast, go back to bed. No desire really to function. But I had dogs I was taking, my dogs, and that basically what kept me going, unfortunately. So, are you there now? I'm hoping you have plenty of help. Yeah, it's paralyzing and it is part of grief. You're right, Cassandra. And I hope you're so done with it. I hope that you've got adequate care and people to talk to and everything, because it's a very difficult time. It's amazingly difficult. And I hope you've got people that care about you that you can talk to and stuff.
Forever. One, there's an unknown, and you said thyroid and other things can go sideways. But how do you know I'm going to gain it all back? What if I feel so good about the new me? I go from looking like me to looking like Hyman, and now I want to lock it in. I'm going to stick with my new good habits.
Well, yes, absolutely. If you change your lifestyle and you change your diet and exercise and do all the things we know really help, then you'll be fine. But I had a guy, for example, who was a doctor who had a gastric bypass surgery, lost 200 pounds and gained it all back because he figured out if he just ate M&Ms one at a time all day long, he could get the sugar and candy in.
What? He lost 200 pounds and gained it back. If you've ever watched my 600-pound life, which I've at one point had watched all of those, binged on them for quite a while, a few years back. And there were people who would lose 40 or 50 pounds because he would say, you have to lose this amount of weight before we can move forward, because he wanted to make sure they could, stick to some kind of reduction in calories and everything. And if they were serious, and then sometimes they would do that, and sometimes they would gain weight, and sometimes they would do that and then gain it all back. And it's just a yo-yo, and that is not healthy either. Not healthy.
So unless you deal with the root cause of why people overeat, the toxic food environment, our behavior change, our lifestyle, exercise, it's a losing game. And we just can't afford as a country to give everybody this really expensive drug that is also important for diabetic treatment. And here's the rub. Because everybody's asking their doctor for it for weight loss, doctors can prescribe it off label. And that means that people who really need it with diabetes are not able to get it because it's not available. They just can't manufacture enough of it. So that's the other downside of the problem.
Now, making it at home, I mean, that is going to light up everybody. Is there any understanding to this being safe and easy to do at home?
Yeah, well, there's these drugs are peptides. Peptides are small little mini proteins that nature makes to do things in our body that it's supposed to do. And these GLP-1 agonists, Ozempic and others, are designed to work on the body's own system. And there are these compounds available online because they're not controlled by the FDA in the way they probably should be. And you can order them from various online websites. You can mix it up yourself and you can give yourself the shot at a fraction of the price. I don't know if that's a good idea or safe because we don't know what these compounds are manufactured with. They don't know if they're safe. We don't know how regulated they are. So I think it's risky business to do that.
There's going to be a lawsuit. Somebody's going to get hurt. I'm telling you, somebody's going to get hurt, God forbid, and there's going to be a lawsuit. Dr. Mark Hyman, you are absolutely right, but welcome to America. Everybody wants to do it the easy way.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to do it. But if they read your book and they listen to your podcast,
Everybody wants to do everything the easy way. And unfortunately, the easy way is not always the best way or the healthy way. It's just we are programmed to do the easy thing. We want a quick fix. We want it quick. We want it now. We want it, yeah, big pharma is a problem. I mean, we see that all the time. And the food industry is a problem. And if you look at, go watch Little House on the Prairie, I'm just kidding. But I mean, many decades ago, people weren't overweight like they are now. And so what's causing that? Well, a lot of what's causing that, I mean, yeah, the fast food industry is horrible. And even if you stay away from the fast food industry and you only buy your food at the grocery store, you're still getting the high fructose corn syrup and all these additives that make you want to eat more of this brand's food. It's science. It's the money spent on getting you to eat more. Yeah, life is a problem, Betty Namboot. And so the best thing you can do is the least amount of chemicals that you're putting into your body. And I'm bad about, because I use artificial sweeteners. I'm terrible about that. And I know they're not healthy. And I mean, I'm not sitting here preaching like I'm over here doing everything right, because I'm not. And I've, over the past, I don't even know how long it's caused me to gain weight, but because I can't get out and exercise right now, but I will be. Yeah, everybody wants a quick fix, and everybody thinks that the answer's in a bottle or a shot or, a drug, illicit drug. Your insurance doesn't. Yeah, they're so dumb. Everything gets easier with machines. Yeah, and then you've got the internet where, it's just a change in lifestyles, because as a kid growing up in the 60s with a black and white TV that had programming on a few channels, to where we are now in life, I mean, it's blown up. And what's it going to be like in, what's left of my lifetime? It's just, but it's like every generation that comes along says, well, it was harder back here. Well, it's hard. It always is supposed to be getting easier, but people were healthier and easier lives when they lived on a farm and raised their own food and bartered for things they needed. And, it's a whole different lifestyle. And people, well, they didn't know they were depressed if they were, but they probably didn't have as much depression and stuff, because they slept they worked hard, and they moved their bodies, and they ate what they had, which was healthier food. Yeah, the artificial sweeteners are horrible. So life continues to roll along, and everybody's wants, we all want instant fixes. Everything's like that. I mean, we went from, popping popcorn in a pan to microwave popcorn. Microwave's supposed to not be good for you. I mean, it's just everything. And then you get the bags of popcorn and they've got additives in them instead of just your oil and your popcorn. You've got additives and flavorings and chemicals, and it's just everything is like that. And I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news or anything. I'm just like, you have to take your health into your own hands. And these drugs that come out and are advertised, and then you see these people, these actors and stuff, who are losing the weight. A lot of them are denying that they're on any of these weight loss drugs, but it's just kind of the odd timing. And then the ones who say, yeah, what's her name? Oh, I can't think of her name right now. Anyway, they say, yeah, I lost weight on it and I was sick the whole time. Nobody wants to be sick. Fruits are refrigerated, covered in wax. Yeah, I know. If you could just grow all your own food and not be on the internet all day, because who knows what the computers are putting into us. I don't know. It's just a lot. And it's our world, and there's no backing down unless you go to move off the grid somewhere and live like that, which people do, but it's not something that I'm going to be able to do. And yeah, the fake sweeteners, and I'm saying, I'm not good about it. I use them. I don't eat a lot of processed food. And like I said, if I get a bag of chips and eat it, and it I can't control myself in a couple of days or something, and then I will have this horrible day where I'll wake up and I feel like crap. And I finally realized a couple of months ago, I think it's from that junk that I'm eating, because I don't normally eat that. I'm not Miss Healthy or anything, but I'm just saying I've had that experience where I ate some chips and stuff, and then the next day, like, I had pain in all my joints and stuff, that inflammation. Your dad threw. Well, my grandparents on my mother's side ended up buying 40 acres, a couple of hour drive from where I was growing up. And we would go down there every so often on the weekends. And then I don't know if it was like a week or two during the summer, my sister and I would go down there, and my grandfather had I'm a huge fresh tomato fan, and we would eat them off the vines. There weren't poisons in them. We didn't have to do any of that. And we would have a lot of food, but you didn't really gain as much weight when you were eating healthy stuff. You stopped all corn and wheat. Yep, that inflammation will get you. We thought it was great. Yeah, you thought it was great. Well, I thought it was great picking tomatoes off the vine and eating them at my grandparents', and I would get the acid used to give me mouth ulcers and stuff. So, guys, that's all I have today about this, but I've really enjoyed chatting with you all. And Cassandra, thanks for all your input. I know that you're well versed in this, and I appreciate your input. And I appreciate you guys being here and listening to me talk about anything other than drama. Oh, good, Amber. Good. You're feeling on track. Yeah, any change towards health is good. Thanks, Betty Dan Boop. Thanks, T. Adams. I appreciate it when you guys show up when I'm doing other topics, which I find interesting, and I'm trying to educate. And if I could just stop one person from blindly grabbing one of these medications and taking them away from someone who, is diagnosed with, obesity. But I mean, look, if you just need to lose 10 or 20 pounds, don't do this. It's just going to hurt. It's just going to hurt you in the long run. And the rebound of that, if you lose 15 or 20 pounds and then you go back and then you stop taking it, you're going to gain the weight back and you're not going to be any healthier. Hey, Lulu Chu. You were, okay. You couldn't chat. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm tired of the drama too, and it's just ugly, and it's yeah, thank you. And it's very oh, you do? I'll try to make sure I'm always right on time too, Cassandra. I like my Sunday morning slot. Um I could do a Saturday morning, but football season's about to start back, so Sunday morning's gonna be always gonna be my spot, because I don't go to church. So, um, anyway, guys, again, I appreciate y'all listening, and please, if you know anybody who's thinking about taking this medication, or you're thinking about it, just remember this, and remember just a few of the things that we've talked about today, and share this out if you know anybody who could enjoy hearing it. Please hit the like button. It's going to help this to get in the algorithm, and it helps my channel when you do that. And I really appreciate all of my subscribers and everybody who supports me. And y'all have a great Sunday, and remember to take care of yourself and be kind to yourself, and that way you can be kind to the world. I'll see y'all soon. Bye. Hey, Taco. Bye.